Hello there, everyone. This is Andre of GVGINU. Thank you very much for giving me the time and ear and listening into my game idea. Well, I didn't mean to do that. But this one is actually something I think will work on the Wii U as a compilation of games, and hopefully a continuation of the series will happen afterwards. And I'm probably one of the few people that actually cares kind of deeply for the series, but that's the Shadow Hearts series, which was on the PS2. This series is currently owned by Universal Entertainment Corporation, which used to be a ruse before. I think it was a ruse. Yeah, a ruse corporation. That's what it was. I was trying to remember what that word was. I was like, what was the name of it? But this series is this is an RPG. I love this RPG. The story was interesting. The characters were interesting. It was kind of unique in and of itself at the time. There are technically 4 games to this series. Only 3 of them, I think, are owned by Universal Entertainment Corporation because of the name. But the original developers for the game that would be first in the series actually did another game called Kudelka on the PS1, which was published by both SNK, which was US and Japan, I think, and Infogrames, which was the PAL regions. So for this type of thing to go down, Nintendo would have to kind of work its network and talk to all 3 of these publishers, because I think each of them has a stake in the series as a whole. But if they did, they could get everything together. Like, they could literally get all 4 games together in one place and like have a full-on compilation of all of them to be playable, and remastered versions of all these games. I know people like, we have way too many remasters. I think we have too many remasters of things that we've already really seen a lot of attention be given to. I don't think we have enough games that haven't been given a whole lot of attention redone to make them better and possibly make them appeal to a bigger audience, or bring them to an audience that just has never experienced them or didn't know about them, who may possibly like them. That is what I have to say about that. So, I would love to see Shadow Hearts, because it had a very interesting... The way the game was played, for one, is completely interesting. It's sort of like, kind of like a Final Fantasy setup, but it has a couple extra elements to it that you wouldn't see in the Final Fantasy series. At least from the Shadow Hearts forward. I don't know if Kudelka had the Judgment Ring in it. I don't think it did. But the Judgment Ring was literally a rhythm-based system that allowed you to basically make your attacks more powerful. If you hit the rhythm at the right time and place, you could literally quadruple the strength of your attacks, which gave you an interesting... It would keep you up with the pace of the battle, because you have to pay attention. You have to stay actively involved in everything that goes on. And a lot of stuff in the game used the Judgment Ring. Like, using potions or magical spells or summons. There's even, I think there's like a thing you can either it's like crafting items where you could use the Judgment Ring, and like, the better your timing and rhythm was, and the more on point your hits were with the portion of the Judgment Ring that you needed to catch, you could make your equipment better. Like, as far as I remember it, maybe my memory's a little foggy, but I think that's how it worked. There's also a thing called sanity points, which you got your normal health points and you got your mana points, but sanity points was a thing. Like, with Shadow Hearts, you were dealing with like this insane situation. Like, these monsters were unusually unfathomable to a normal person. So the characters had the sanity points they started off with like 100. They had 100 points each battle. I think. I don't think the sanity points gauge changed. It's been a while since I played, so I don't remember fully. But as it depletes, you'd have to worry about your character becoming berserk, and if they became berserk, they'd just attack any and everyone that's on the field, enemy or friend. Obviously, there were items to be able to help you recover your sanity points, but you could also just allow your character to run rampant if you wanted to, or if you just didn't really have anything. You could hope that when they ran out of sanity points, that they destroyed whatever enemy you had. And it added another layer because this game made sure you had to keep your attention on everything. Now, people are probably wondering, like, well, what the heck does this have to do with the Wii U? Well, for one, with RPGs, the Wii U would allow for a kind of unique way to be able to control it. You can either play it with the directional, the analogs and buttons, and a directional pad, or for combat, you'd be able to use the touchscreen, and it probably would help you be a little bit more accurate with like things like the Judgment Ring, because you could tap, 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 and just pay attention to what you're doing. I mean, obviously, you still do the same thing with buttons, but people seem to be a little bit quicker when they can just do it themselves, at least from my personal experience, from what I've seen. Yeah, I could be wrong. But also allow you to be able to keep your menu open without having to jump back and forth and slow the game down a whole lot, unless you really deemed it necessary to stop the game and get into your menus. You could also quickly use the map system for fast travel and things like that, which this game had like specific locations that you had to enter and things like that. It really wasn't very open, at least as far as the first game. I didn't really get to play the other ones outside of playing the demos of them, and those were good. I just never found the games, so I'm gonna have to look them up eventually myself so I can play them. But it's a great series of games, and I think it's pretty sad that nobody's trying to revive it or trying to bring it back. And I think it would be a good idea to bring this to a new audience, and we all know that Wii U probably could use a few more RPGs, so it wouldn't be a bad fit. Honestly, it'd be a great fit for the system if Nintendo or one of the other companies did the work to get it done. But honestly, that's something I can't control. I'm looking forward to games coming, but this is something I would love to see brought back, and hopefully it would do well enough. I mean, if they could get all 4 games, they could get Kudelka, then Shadow Hearts Covenant, and Shadow Hearts New World from the New World. That's 4 games all together. It would just make sense to do it. It would definitely make a whole lot of sense to do it. So it'd be a great deal to gamers, and it'd be honestly an amazing game. It'd be an amazing series to put on the Wii U. So there you have it. I've rambled on like several times. I know I haven't really thrown any new ideas into this, but the games speak for themselves. That's why I kind of think it would be a good fit to say, hey, you guys aren't doing anything with this franchise. Let's take this, we'll work with you, and our teams will get it updated and make it look better, get it more polished, maybe add some new content into the game. It would be worth it. It'd be a great series to have for the Wii U, or any console for that fact, doesn't matter. But I think the Wii U more specifically because it's kind of not got very many full-fledged RPGs, at least as far as I know. I mean, I'll have to check again just to be sure. But yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears up for more of my stuff, and until the next time, enjoy your games. Peace out.